Hey guys, this is Zylock with Media Hindsight, and I'm here to take you on a trip through the past, one game at a time, yet again. And today we're going to go back to 1994, back in the heyday of the Super Nintendo, and we are going to look at a reboot of the classic series, and that's Mega Man, and the title we're going to look at is Mega Man X. I was a big fan of the Mega Man series on the Nintendo, and when I got my hands on Mega Man X, it blew my mind. The game just made everything just bigger, better, more colorful, more action-packed. And it just blew my mind back then. But I wanted to kind of go back and see how it's held up since then. So because I hadn't played it in probably, about 5 years. So I want to see a fresh perspective on it. So let's go ahead and take a look. Starting with the controls, Mega Man X just built upon the foundation of the original with responsive movement and pixel-perfect level and enemy design. X feels like an extension of yourself. The controls are that solid. As far as the actions that X can perform, only two have really been added, but they change gameplay in ways you can't imagine until you experience it for yourself. The first is a boosted jump. Early on in the game, you'll get an upgrade to your suit that will allow X to dash, much like Mega Man's classic slide from the older games. This also allows you to hit the slide button and jump button simultaneously for a longer jump. This allows for many more options during platforming and boss battles. On top of this, you can also slide down and jump up or off walls. This adds an amazing new dimension to enemy encounters, and the bosses have been given clever arsenals of attacks to promote the use of this new function. You will also have access to the old staple of running, jumping, and shooting your Buster, X's arms-mounted weapon. This weapon can be shot rapid fire or charged up for a couple of seconds to unleash a much more powerful shot. For everything that Mega Man X changes, it still keeps true to its roots and has you facing off against 8 robot masters. Except this time, they're called Mavericks, and they're all inspired by animals. At the end of each level, you'll face off against the Maverick leader of that area, and if defeated, you will gain a new weapon from them, generally inspired by one of their own attacks. Each has a limited number of uses, but can be charged with power-ups found throughout each level or dropped from an enemy. Each one is fun to use, and many allow you to collect power-ups that were otherwise inaccessible, and if used wisely, can really make certain parts of the game quite a bit easier. Each boss also has a weakness to one of these weapons. If you use the correct one, you can make some of the more challenging boss fights much more manageable. While these bosses aren't the toughest of the franchise, they do pose a fair challenge, but more importantly, each is well crafted with a unique moveset, personality, and gimmicks. To add to the replayability and sense of character growth, there are power-ups hidden in each level. These can range from heart tanks that permanently increase X's health bar, energy tanks that can be charged and used to refill health during battle, and even different upgrades to X's body armor. One in particular really adds a spice of depth to your weaponry and allows you to charge up not only your Buster even further than before, but also your special weapons, giving them great new effects and even completely different uses. It's one of my favorite parts of this game, and I really enjoyed replaying levels and experimenting with these options. Level design in Mega Man X is nothing short of extraordinary. No two levels are similar, and you'll be navigating levels via minecarts, flying platforms, conveyor belts, and water cyclones, while being assaulted from all sides by well-crafted enemies that truly complement the level layouts. Honestly, I can't think of a single point where the action lets up and I felt bored. Levels aren't drug out and are short and to the point. Levels should be fun and interesting to navigate, and Mega Man X does not disappoint. I do have one complaint about this game though, and that's with the last couple of levels after eliminating the 8 original Mavericks. These levels are not bad by any means, but they don't have the same love and creativity put into them that is so apparent with the previous ones, and they just use rehashes of previous enemies. It simply feels like the later levels were just rushed. It's a shame really, as it's the only blemish on what could be considered a perfect game. The character designs and attention to detail in each level really show off what the Super Nintendo was truly capable of, and that's lush, detailed pixel art. From the color palette, crisp animation, and sense of speed, Mega Man X's visuals will grab you and hold you till the end. One thing that I can't credit Capcom enough for is the creativity in altering levels based upon your progress in the game. For example, if you finish Chill Penguin stage first, before venturing to the Flame Mammoth stage, the dangerous lava flow below each platform and conveyor belt is frozen over, allowing for safe passage. Another great example is Spark Mandrill stage. After returning to this level after completing it and Storm Eagle's stage, the level will be much darker as if there's been a loss of power to the factory, and at the beginning you can see the remnants of Storm Eagle's airship strewn about. This detail really shows just how much Capcom understood video games and what it took to make them great back in the 16-bit era. The opening theme to the intro stage is still one of the most iconic music tracks in gaming history as far as I'm concerned. Very few games can capture the excitement of how action-packed and fun your journey is going to be 10 seconds into a level with such a well-arranged and adrenaline-pumping tune. While not all the songs live up to this same quality, they're all very well done and set you in the mood to run and gun a few hundred robots. Each weapon, enemy, explosion, and jump sounds perfect and feels awesome. Mega Man X was the very first game I ever played for my Super Nintendo, and it completely blew me away, and the fact that it still can to this day really says something about it. And because of this, I'm going to have to give Mega Man X for the Super Nintendo a 95 out of 100. It's a classic in every sense of the word, and every gamer and non-gamer alike should play it at least once and appreciate it for what it really is. A damn fun game.